I'm not in the mood to dust. That's no place to put a mug.
One of the core things about adventure games we think about a lot was what is keeping the player going forward, and what is the reward? Because, you know, an RPG game, you kill somebody, you get loot, you get items and stuff like that, and or you get rank. You know, so what is the reward for playing an adventure game and its environments?
Yes,
really, it's
discovering the new place.
It's unlocking the new environment.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes a cutscene and stuff, but really, it's environments and finding a new place.
I get the feeling that operating that switch is out of my powers. No. I get the feeling that operating that switch is out of my powers. Well, it's not that I'm afraid or anything, but there are easier ways into the station, and I'm not walking back to El Marro. It's a lovely rag. Here, blot his forehead with this.
He needs to fly, not to be dry.
Sorry. Happiness is a warm rag. Here, blot his forehead with this.
He needs to fly, not to be dry.
Sorry. This better not stain my pocket.
Not again. Will they never learn?
It was the little guy. I saw him.
Ah, and he denied it the last time.
That's no place to put a mug. I hate it when people leave their crusty mugs out in the break room. Always a good idea to have a clean rag around. This better not stain my pocket.
What was in that mug? Something that powerful could fuel a rocket. If only we had more.
Well, I could score you a couple of truckloads if you're interested.
We shoot you now like an arrow into the wind. May you pierce the heart of the wind itself and drink the blood of flight. Speed is the food of the great Glottis. Speed bring you life. Come back to us someday.
the way? Hey, look! We're already to Rubacava!
Manny? Manny? Manny, where are you? Manny, I'm frightened!
Oh, what? No!
Ah, Rubacava! What a town! Remember the glory days, Manny?
Long gone, my friend. There's nothing here for us now.
Except maybe our old car.
Dios mío!
She's been...
Booby-trapped.
by who? Who?
Yeah, this is Alan. Someone told me like this was the moment they cried in the game, just hearing how scared Glottis was in the scene, because he gets really frightened. And it's actually a reference to a claim that a babysitter made about me when they were babysitting me. They said, "Oh, gee, you were so scared when your parents." You would sit there and you'd say, "Mother, mother, I'm frightened." And I was like, "No, okay. First of all, I never said that. I never said mother."
Yeah, that's suspicious right there.
But it got to be this family joke. Mother, I'm frightened, mother. And so that line actually got in the game.
I'm not setting foot down there. The slightest bump could start those dominoes tumbling. I'm not setting foot down there. The slightest bump could start those dominoes tumbling.
Yeah, this is Alan Blumenfeld, who really brought a lot of heart to Glottis.
Yeah, totally.
He's just a real sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not setting foot down there. The slightest bump could start those dominoes tumbling. Maintenance has gotten pretty lax around here, apparently.
Well, I think it's one of the real challenges for adventure games because so many things you make for an adventure game are single use. Like single use animation, single use scenes, single use textures. They're all like you do a first person shooter, you do, adventure game, or sorry, like a platform or something like that. There's so many animations that get reused so many times throughout the whole game. And an adventure game, a huge amount of it is just custom throwaway, meant to be seen, once or twice, and occasionally, all the time, like walk cycles. But it's not like Mario. At the time they were doing Mario 64, and it's like Mario has a ridiculous number of animations, but it's a finite set, and it's like they can all be loaded at all times. In this game, you have to dynamically load all the animations as they're needed, and you have to make sure they're available before they're triggered, so you don't get these glitches, and while you wait for them. And a lot of them they're thrown away. They have to get, every single one has to be individually processed by a human to get them into the game and potentially rigged up. And that's one of the challenges of making adventure games, is that you have all these sort of custom things and you want to reuse them as much as possible, but in order to do that you have to automate a lot of stuff, automate as much processing as you can, but you still have to have that ability to fix things. In film we'll fix it in post. It's the same kind of thing. It's like we'll fix it in the engine, or we'll fix it in the tool, as opposed to we'll fix it in the source art.
And that's the like you can walk to any room you want, and like all the little one-off assets. I think that's a unique challenge technically to adventure games that a lot of other games, other genres don't really have to address. But we're constantly like loading in custom stuff and kicking custom stuff out, and on this game, memory is tight. You walk into this room and we need 16-bit flipbooks of doors opening and closing, and one-off animations of you may go and play the piano, you may not go and play the piano, and there's all this technical kind of tomfoolery going on of trying to get the content that maybe that somebody
Might
made
be used.
might be used, might not be used. You might just be running through this room to some other room,
place, yeah.
and it's not like loading up a level in a first-person shooter where you're like, okay, I know what's going to be in front of the user at any one point in time, and we're going to use the same bad guy 50 times over. So I just need to get the stuff to run the bad guy in memory. This was this constant dance of like just-in-time loading and management of stuff, because you could walk into this room and spend 10 minutes in this room and explore every bit of content that this room could offer you, or you could just be running through on your way to somewhere else.
Back to this other puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah.
See what the boat captain's doing.
Manuel Calavera? Well, what happened to the limbo?
Hate to tell you, Velasco,